This is so weird. Next door having some work done and the bloke has just come out and he's just looking at me through the lounge window. Like seriously, just staring at me. Hi everyone, so it is Saturday afternoon and I thought that I would start filming a reading vlog because I have not long finished The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. This is the final book in the Remnant Chronicles trilogy, and to be honest, it was okay. One of my reading goals for 2021, if you don't know, is to finish reading this series that I have started, so this ticks that off, but there were some issues that I had from book one and they have just continued throughout the entire trilogy. And so I finished this and it was okay, but it's just left me feeling a bit kind of about what I was going to pick up next. And I did start reading, I'm just going to grab the book, I did start reading Away with the Penguins by Hazel Pryor, and I've got about 30 pages into this and I am enjoying it. Veronica McCready as a protagonist is very enjoyable already. I love her sarcastic sense of self, but it just wasn't doing it for me, I guess. And the reason, I think, is because everybody, it seems, on my social media timeline has gone crazy for the Netflix series Bridgerton, and I quite want to watch it, but I'm aware that the series is based on books, and so me being me, I wanted to at least read the first book before I watched the series. But Regency romance is not a genre that I would typically reach for. I cannot think of a single Regency romance book, or really a romance book in general, that I've ever picked up and read, so it's kind of a brand new genre for me, but regardless, I have downloaded the first book on my Kindle, which is The Duke and I. If you don't know, they are by an author called Julia Quinn, and I'm a little bit apprehensive, so I thought that I would film a reading vlog. So basically I'm going to read the first book and then I'm going to watch a couple of episodes, and I thought that I would kind of film the experience and film a reading vlog, but I do think that they're possibly going to be a little bit steamier than I am used to, and certainly, as I say, it's a genre that I'm not massively familiar with, so it's kind of a foray into the unknown for me. I'm a little bit nervous about it. Honestly, there is a guy doing some work for next door and he just keeps looking in at what I'm doing and it's really off-putting. So anyway, I'm going to film a reading vlog. I'm going to bring you along for the experience. We will see how we go. But yes, I'm excited and at the same time I am apprehensive. So let's see how we go. Hello everyone, future Jess here, just popping along to say, first of all, if you are a Bridgerton fan of the books or the TV series, please don't roast me. I honestly just, the vlog starts out all sweetness and light and then it takes a very rapid downhill turn, but I'm honestly just saying it as I see it, so please don't roast me. And I did put a poll up asking people whether they would still be interested in watching this vlog, and over 80% of people said yes, please put it up, we will still watch it. So it is in your hands. But also I realised that I just kind of launched into talking about the characters in the book. I didn't actually explain what the book is about, so I'm going to do that. But also, in all seriousness, the reason that I'm sitting here is not to beg you not to roast me, but because I wanted to put a trigger warning on this video to say that I do discuss abuse of a sexual nature, and that is there is content in the book that I think fits that category. And because of the way the vlog starts and because of how entertaining and the discussions around Bridgerton and the Netflix series and all of that, I didn't want it to take anyone by surprise, so I want to make that really clear from the outset. So the book that I read is The Duke and I by Julia Quinn. It's the first one in the Bridgerton series, and the basic concept is that we have Daphne Bridgerton, who is one of 8 children. She is just coming out into society, and she is looking for a husband, but she is such a friendly character that all the eligible men, all the eligible bachelors sort of view her more as a friend and don't view her in a romantic sense. And so her whole life goal is to get married and have children, and she feels like she's not going to be able to achieve that. And then we have Simon, who is the Duke of Hastings. He had quite a traumatic childhood because of a stutter that he had, and so he turned himself into something of a rake. He's just been abroad, he's come back, and because he is a duke, all the mamas and all the eligible women are throwing themselves at him. And so Daphne and Simon come to an arrangement that in order to make Daphne more appealing to other men, and in order to get the mothers off Simon's case, they will pretend to form an attachment, and the story kind of unfolds from there. Yeah, sorry that I just kind of launched into talking about the characters with no preamble. So yeah, that is me, over and out. As I say, I did ask if you wanted me to put this vlog up. You did say yes. We'll see how it goes. But now, back to past me. I'm just about to sit and film a video with James, so I don't have a ton of time, but I wanted to come on and give you a reading update because I've been reading this morning. We've just reached our first steamy scene, I guess you would say, at Mrs. Trowbridge's party, and then Anthony has come across them, the older brother Anthony has come across them, and there's been a bit of a fight. I am not, let me categorise this by saying, I'm not poking fun at people who enjoy romance books or steamy or erotic or Regency romance, all of that kind of stuff. It's just a brand new genre to me, so if I seem like I'm laughing, it's probably just because I'm feeling a little bit awkward because it's not the type of thing that I normally read. It wasn't as steamy as I was expecting it to be. Obviously it was still a little bit steamy, but not as steamy as I was expecting it to be. But the thing that struck me actually was it's the drama. So Anthony comes across them and he has a fight with Simon, and then he says we're going to have a duel, and Simon then immediately becomes like, oh, I always knew this was, you know, I always thought I was going to die and I'm happy to die. And I was like, that's really quite dark and dramatic. And my question, I suppose, would be to people who do read this genre, is that typical? Is the author poking fun, or is that typical of, is it just part of it basically? Because I was reading it and I was like, okay, I understand it's a bit of a situation, but at the same time try to calm down a bit. So yeah, I'm just interested. It just felt like a real leap for him to suddenly be like, okay, I'll just give my life up kind of thing. So yeah, as I say, I've not got much time. Not going to go and film a video with James, but I just wanted to check in. I'm about 40% of the way in, so nearly at the halfway point. Very much enjoying it. It's so readable. Really, really enjoying it. Loving the humour. Loving the kind of to and fro between our characters. But I'm gonna go now. So it is Monday morning. I am working from home today. I'm having my first ever lockdown, which sounds crazy, but you can hear the kids in the background. Back in the first lockdown, I was pretty much working Monday to Friday because of the job that I do. We weren't really given the option to lock down in the same way that everyone else did and stay home. And then in kind of the half lockdown that we did in December, it was our busiest time, so again didn't get to stay home. But this time I've been asked to only go in the office one day a week, and it's so weird. Like, as an introvert, not gonna lie, quite enjoy it. But yeah, it's weird. The kids are doing their schoolwork and I'm trying to work, and it is a lot. Haven't actually had time to read, but I did get to chapter 16 yesterday, so I'm 65% of the way through. This is a spoiler, so look away now if you don't want a spoiler, but Daphne and Simon have just got married and they have gone to Cliveden, and Daphne's spoken to the housekeeper and she's kind of beginning to understand what Simon's issue is. I'm still not clear on why Simon doesn't want children, other than he is afraid. I can't decide if either he is afraid that Daphne might die in childbirth like his mother did, or if it's the thought that a child of his could have a stammer, and obviously he really struggled with that, and he doesn't want to kind of pass that on. So I'm unclear on which direction the author is going to take the story in. We've also had our marital first night, which was very steamy. Just definitely something that I'm not used to, but in terms of the entertainment and the enjoyment, I'm really, really liking it. It's just the ideal light-hearted quick read that I was after. I'm very pleased that I started to read it. I'm gonna have my lunch now and do a little bit more reading, and then I will check in with you all later. The kids are watching TV downstairs, so despite the fact that I haven't finished the book yet, I'm going in. Here we go. I apologise for the lighting. It's just after 3 o'clock and it is not a very nice day here in the northwest of England. It's very grey and grim. So I'm just tying off a few things and then I'm going to be done with work for the day. And I think that I'm going to sit and read. The kids are occupying themselves. Meg is watching art YouTube videos, and you can probably hear Eli in the background shouting he's playing a game. So watched episode 1 of Bridgerton on my lunch break today, and I can see why it is so popular. As soon as I finished episode 1, I immediately then wanted to go and watch episode 2. Obviously I couldn't because I was on my lunch break and I had to sit back down and work, but yeah, there's obviously a few changes. They've changed the timeline and the plot, but there's also the addition of some new characters. So Queen Charlotte is not in the books, and also the Featherington's cousin, is it Miss Thompson? She's not in, at least not in book 1. Perhaps that's the character that comes in later, I don't know, maybe they've shifted the timeline a little bit. So they have played a little bit with that. But yeah, I'm actually really tempted to go and sit and watch the second episode, but I don't know if all of season 1 is book 1 or if it's going to stray into book 2, and I don't want to spoil anything for myself. And actually I know once I sit down and start reading, the books are so readable and it's so entertaining that I will just fly through it. I actually think it won't take me long. I've got my Kindle here. It won't take me long to get through the last 40% of book 1, and I do want to know what is going to happen. So yeah, I just need to tie a few things off, and then I'm going to make myself a hot cup of tea. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea and drink it hot, because I actually have not managed to drink a hot cup of tea today, in between working and then helping the kids and answering calls and just all the various things. I have not managed to have a hot cup of tea. Totally just dropped my elbow off the desk then, keeping it classy. I'm not gonna lie, would much rather it was a glass of wine, but we'll stick with a cup of tea. We'll stick with a cup of tea for now. Maybe I'll treat myself to a glass of wine later. And now I'm just rambling because I'm tired, so I'm going to finish what I'm doing. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea, I'm going to sit down and read, and I will check in with you all later, and hopefully I will be 100% more coherent and less rambly. I changed location because I need to make some dinner. Still got Christmas decorations up because such is life. Yeah, but I wanted to just kind of do a quick check-in because, and this is going to be a spoiler, so if you haven't read it you might not want to listen to this, but it's making me feel uncomfortable where the storyline has gone, and I just wanted to kind of vocalise my concerns, I guess. Let me just get set up for making the dinner and then I will be back. Blurry, no. So we've just had the part where Daphne has realised that it isn't that Simon can't have children, but that he won't have children, and she's just kind of caught on to the machinations of how you make a child, how you make a baby. And so she's like accused him and said that he's misled her, and so they have argued, and then he goes out and gets drunk because he's upset at it, and then they make love, and he comes to and he realizes that, or he accuses Daphne of like tricking him into potentially making a child. And I don't know how I feel about it. It feels it's made me feel a little bit gross, I think, because however the author is going to try and spin it, and already I read a little bit past, so I know that she does end up pregnant, and Simon now knows, and the author has kind of added this bit in of Simon's internal thoughts saying, oh well, I was egging her on, excuse the pun, I was encouraging her. Daphne has still taken something from Simon that he didn't want to give, and although she may not have been in her right mind, she has still used him or taken advantage of him in a vulnerable state to get an outcome that she wants, and not that he wanted. And he was quite clear that that's not what he wanted, and he was quite clear from the beginning. And although I can see that there would be the deception with him saying can't rather than won't, Daphne is still in the wrong, and I don't know, there's something about it, and it's almost putting me off reading the rest of the book, because now I feel like there's going to be this great resolution and everyone's going to live happily ever after, but the whole thing is hinged on the fact that she decided what was better for him. She decided that he didn't know what was right. And I don't think that she's wrong when she's talking about the fact that he, instead of living his life to the full and having what he wants, he's living a lesser life to try and spite his father. And that's pointless and silly and not the right thing, but he needed to come to that conclusion on his own rather than her forcing his hand, which is what she has effectively done. And she has betrayed him and taken something from him, and I just, maybe I'm viewing it like too clinically, or try to make it too black and white, and it isn't. But at the same time, I just, something off about it. I just think I don't like that. I don't like that that's what the author has decided to do. How is she going to bring resolution for that? Is Simon just going to forgive her? But then at the end of the day, Daphne still just took what she wanted. In a gross way, in a way that betrays trust. And I don't feel like that what Simon did was necessarily as bad as what Daphne has done. I'm not saying that we should lie or mislead in our relationships, but the two, in my opinion, are not comparable. And I'm just really quite disappointed that that's the direction that the story has now gone in, because I just, yeah, as I say, it makes me feel uncomfortable. And I can appreciate, like, people get carried away sometimes, and emotions and whatnot, and we can be all overwrought and we make mistakes, but you're talking about a child coming out of this, which is a fairly huge thing, potentially an unwanted child, which is a fairly huge thing, somebody taking something physically from somebody else that they didn't want to give, which is a huge thing. I don't know how I feel about it. It's about 20 minutes later. I have literally just been standing and stewing about this book whilst making dinner. I've decided that I'm not going to read anymore today. I'm going to talk to James about it, because he's normally a very good balance to my emotions, I guess, my thoughts, my feelings. He's a very good sounding board. So I'm going to talk to him, see how I feel about it. I don't know, I honestly can't decide if I'm overreacting or if I'm right that it's making me feel so uncomfortable. And I guess I was caught between, do I carry on reading and see how the author is going to resolve it? Is she going to resolve it? Is she going to point out this kind of, yeah, is she going to acknowledge that it's a real gross act against another human being physically? Is that just me overreacting? I don't know. So should I carry on reading and see what happens, or should I put it down for a bit and walk away? So I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go and watch, whilst the dinner is cooking, I'm gonna go and watch an episode of something. Also need to do some computer science with Eli for homeschool, so I'm gonna do that and try not to think about it. Sorry, the lighting in here, it's so dark outside. The lighting is going up and down, I know. So yeah, but I'm probably gonna watch another episode of Bridgerton on Netflix. I feel like this may be one area where the Netflix show differs from the books. I don't know, we will see. I hope so. But yeah, you may see me tomorrow saying, oh, what an overreaction, ha ha ha, or I might stick with my gut that I really just don't like it, and something about it has made me feel very uncomfortable. I'm not on board with it at the moment. That's how I feel. I'm not on board with the storyline, and I'm disappointed because up to this point it had been a real ride and very entertaining. So I'm gonna let the dinner simmer. I'm making spaghetti bolognese if you're interested. I'm gonna go and watch something, do a little bit of work with E, and then I will probably talk to you all in a little while. If not, definitely I will catch up with you all tomorrow. Good morning everyone, it's Tuesday morning. You have to excuse my hair. I decided that because I am working from home again today that I wouldn't straighten it, I would give it a break, but I'm aware it looks a little bit chaotic. Wanted to pop on and say that I spoke to James yesterday about the book, and he agreed. Like we had a long chat about the appropriateness of it and what I was feeling, what I was taking away from it. Ultimately I'm going to carry on and read it, but I just kind of wanted to flag that I wasn't okay with it, and I am interested to see how Julia Quinn is going to resolve it, if she's going to resolve it. I don't know. And then I watched up to episode 6 of the Netflix series yesterday, and they just don't even, they take it in a totally different direction. Not totally different, she still technically like tricks him, but yeah, it's just they've obviously decided that it's not appropriate either. So yeah, but the reason that I'm sitting anyway, so I'm going to carry on reading and see what I think when I get to the end. The reason that I'm actually on is because we've just had a Lush order, and I thought that I would show you what we got. We do have a Lush shop in town, but we don't really go there an awful lot. But the kids are really into their bath bombs, and I thought that seeing as we're in another national lockdown and everything has changed for them again, and they're having to do homeschool and it's just all topsy-turvy, I agreed to put in an order for them, and we just have a little bit of a treat. So the stuff has just arrived. I've unboxed it already for the purposes of COVID, so I'm not touching the box, but yeah, I just thought that I would show you what I got. So I've ordered a couple of things for myself. Sorry, I'm looking at my hair and just thinking, oh my goodness. So I've ordered a couple of things for myself, and then I ordered some stuff for the kids. So I ordered Angels on Bare Skin Fresh Cleanser. I have never used any Lush face products before, and I spent a lot of time reading the different reviews for their stuff. This one I think is good. It says it's restorative. It's got lavender, chamomile and kaolin in it, and it's meant to be very, very good for people with sensitive and reactive skin, which is what I have, and I'm always really hesitant to try new skin products for the reason that my face just hates me. So I was a little bit nervous, but this has got really, really good reviews for people with sensitive skin. So hesitantly, I'm going to give this a go. And then because my lips are being absolutely ravaged by the winter weather, I got their Citrus Lip Service lip balm as well. And then I'm just going to randomly grab some stuff. So this is for me, this is their Peach Crumble. I prefer their bubble bars rather than their bath bombs, because you get all the goodness of the bath bomb, but you get bubbles as well. And if you're not familiar, what you do is you break a little bit off and you crumble it under the water, and it gives you the bubbles. A little bit of a problem storing them, but I find them much better value and much more pleasant than the bath bombs. So this is their Peach Crumble one. And then I got 2 butterball bath bombs for the kids. These are basically just oat and shea butter, but they leave your skin like so smooth, and the kids really like them, so I got them 1 each of those. And then Meg picked herself a Twilight bath bomb. This is lavender. She has a real hard time falling asleep. And we're always looking for different things to kind of help her relax and unwind. So I said, why don't you try a lavender bath bomb? So she picked this Twilight one. And then she also picked herself a bubble bar. She picked herself a unicorn horn bubble bar, and I got myself another sleepy one. This is lavender, and I got myself one just before Christmas, and I have basically used it all. It smells divine. Your bath goes this beautiful calming purple colour. Yeah, and it's just divine. Highly recommend the sleepy bubble bar. Eli picked himself a dragon egg bath bomb. I think you put this in the water and it's supposed to be a surprise what colour it goes for, but you can see like a little bit of pinky poking out there. And then the final thing is, I think that's everything, but Eli's bubble stick, which in itself is a real treat, because this is it. Is this not the sparkliest? So this is the dragon. It's called Dragon Legend Bubble Stick, but I just think his whole skin is going to be covered in glitter. My skin is covered in glitter just from touching it, but oh my goodness me, have you ever seen anything like it? But he chose that, so that is what he has. And I think that he is so keen that he is currently running a bath as we speak, so probably need to hustle this along. But yeah, I just wanted to interject with a little cheeky Lush haul. Do like their products very much. And yeah, just an update on the reading. So I've got 2 more episodes of Bridgerton to watch. Probably won't watch them now. I did say I was going to try and do it slowly, didn't I? And then I thought, I felt so unsettled by what I'd read. And I was interested to know how they were going to deal with it in the TV show, if they were going to deal with it in the TV show. Really showing my age, the fact that I keep calling it a TV show and not the Netflix series, that I just kind of binge watched them all yesterday. So I'm not going to discuss what episode 6 was actually like, because my face would just go the colour of that dragon stick. And actually, yeah, I do need to go and help the kids finish the work, and I am supposed to be working from home today, but regardless, just taking a tea break. So yeah, I will check in with you all later. So it's Wednesday. I finished The Duke and I, the ebook, yesterday. I have 1 episode of Bridgerton, the Netflix series, left to watch. But I wanted to wrap this reading vlog up. I don't even know if I'm going to put it up, to be honest, because I feel like I started with such high hopes, and not even necessarily thinking that I was going to find a new genre to read and enjoy, but I just thought that it was going to be a bit of entertainment and a bit fun and light-hearted and just a little bit of what we all kind of need at the moment. And I've basically just been handed the opposite on a plate. I read the book to the end to see how Julia Quinn would deal with the issue, if she would deal with the issue, and she basically just didn't, and it ruined the whole book for me. I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads because I felt like 1 star was just a little bit too harsh. And apart from that 1 plot point, I really enjoyed the rest of the book. And I'm not saying that it was perfect. There were some other huge gaping plot holes. For example, Daphne, our protagonist, is portrayed as a very switched on young woman who reminds us frequently that she knows about X, Y, and Z because she has 4 brothers and she's grown up with 4 brothers, so she knows about this, that and the other. And then we're supposed to believe that she's so in the dark about what goes on between a man and a woman in terms of sex that it just doesn't ring true. But I was willing to kind of overlook that for the purposes of the fact that it helped the story along, didn't it? And it was enjoyable and it was entertaining. And when you're enjoying a story, there are things that you are willing to overlook, but the effective rape of one's husband is not something that I was willing to overlook, and it's just sat really heavy on me, I think, that that would be part of the story when it just does not need to be part of the story. And I just felt like the resolution was not sufficient. So okay, Daphne doesn't get pregnant, so she doesn't get the outcome that she wanted, doesn't make it okay, and the author's attempt to deal with it and say, you know, have Simon have this internal musing of well, maybe I said no, but maybe I didn't say no forcefully enough. No, like no, like that's not, no is no, right? And I just, yeah, it left a bitter, sour taste in my mouth. I did not like it at all. And there were it's not just that act, there were various problematic issues with it. So the fact that the author, through Daphne, reiterates that Simon is so very drunk, because Daphne asks him twice at least, I think, did you have to get so drunk? The fact that Simon says no, stop, and she doesn't. The fact that he then has that internal musing of, I said stop, but maybe I didn't say it, you know, maybe I didn't really mean it. Yeah, but you still said it, so she should have stopped. Like, it just did not enjoy it. I'm sorry that this reading vlog turned from something that I was really thinking that I was going to enjoy and something that I really was looking forward to this trashing of this novel. But it's just not something that I feel like I can let go of. I mean, obviously let go of, I'm not going to like carry it around with me, but you know what I mean, like I can't just overlook it and go, oh well, it was nice, it was fluffy, it was entertaining, there's this ugly part of it, but let's just pretend that doesn't exist. I'm not prepared to do that in this instance, because I don't think it's right, and I'm very disappointed, and I don't think that is acceptable, and it has multiple long-standing issues. And you know, I talked about it with James, we talked about the fact of I'm a big believer as well, let me circle back to that, I'm a big believer of things being written in the time. I did a huge piece of work when I was in school about the taming of the shrew and whether that was sexist, and the fact that it wasn't because it was of the time that it was written in, and I'm a huge believer in that, but this was not written during Regency times. So there's nothing that the author can hide behind with that, and I know that there are other references to cultural things, such as Simon saying to Daphne that he owns her. I get that, but for me this was just a step too far. I'm actually, even as I'm talking, thinking about downgrading it to 1 star, just because I wouldn't want anyone to go into it thinking that it's going to be something that it's not. And that's ultimately what I felt. So that is the end of the reading vlog. I'm actually, right this minute, so do watch out for it, I'm going to start another reading vlog because I feel so dissatisfied with the way that this one is going to ultimately turn out that I'm going to now film a cozy reading vlog. So last night I carried on with my reading of Away with the Penguins, so I'm immediately going to now follow this with the filming of a cozier reading vlog that hopefully will have a slightly better outcome. So if you got to the end of this, thank you very much. I'm sorry that it didn't turn out the way that I had initially planned. Yeah, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. I'll see you soon.